Hi, I'm Imogen. Thanks for clicking on this video. Today I've come to a new garden centre for me to have a look at the outdoor plants because I've heard it's quite good for that. So I'm going to take you along on a tour. So obviously I put my mask on first, and then I got one of those sort of barrow carts. And then when you first went in, they had some bedding plants. So there were some pinks, then lots of colours of pansies and some little violas. There was also some nice pots of lavender, and all of these were quite decently priced, I thought. Then heading inside, there were lots of tables of bedding plants. So they had pots of marguerite daisies, and I also really liked these balloon plants, which I hadn't heard of before, but they have lovely star-shaped white flowers. Then moving across the way, there were some more flowering plants. So they had Diacia and Nemesia. Then I also liked this Dichondra. It had lovely silver leaves which were velvety and soft to the touch. Then going along, they had some more flowering plants, including fuchsia and verbena. On another table, they had lots of vegetable seedlings with carrots, lots of lettuce varieties. There were also some leeks and I think cauliflower too. Then here's some more flowering plants. And all of these little pots were £1.50 each. And I did get a couple of different types, which I'll show you in a haul at the end of this video. And at the end of that area was a little table of bonsai. I don't tend to see these at the usual garden centres I go to, so that was nice to see, even though I'm not at all knowledgeable about bonsai. Then we went outside and I couldn't resist having a stroke of these two grasses, which were £7.99 each. There was also more bushy plants, which weren't really quite what we were after, so I didn't have a proper look, but you can see some. And they also had lots of tubs of herbs, again not what I really wanted on this trip, but good to know about for future reference. I loved this big table of pansies and violas in all of their different colours. It was just really nice and colourful to see. And then I came across some oxalis, which I know is actually an outdoor plant, so I shouldn't really be surprised, but I loved this silvery one with lots of leaves, which is an oxalis adenophylla, and it was only £2.99, so I popped that into my trolley. Then I just carried on looking at their other alpine plants, but nothing in particular took my interest enough to buy. There was loads and loads of different types of plants though, so I was still glad that I came to this garden centre and had a look, and I'll probably come back here later in the year to get some more plants. They also had a few different hebes in varying shades of purple, and I've got a couple of these already in my garden and they're colourful all year long, which is really nice. Then there was also some magnolia, again something I've already got in my garden. Mine's just a standard white one, and I thought this dark purple one was quite interesting. And then at the end of this aisle were some smallish rhododendron bushes. And the last thing before going into the houseplant section was this little sort of goth grass which had black leaves. That was £7.99. And then we went back indoors to the houseplants. The first room had lots of cacti in the middle of it. They had this amazing, massive barrel cactus. It was £450, but it was truly huge. But they did also have some smaller ones which were, you know, just a bit more affordable. And there was also lots of pots. I also spotted this random alocasia poly which seemed to be in the wrong place. And then there were some succulents. I think this is an aloe. It was $8.99, and there was some nice echeveria too. This purpley echeveria was $6.99, and then I decided to get this shallow terracotta pot because I really liked the ridges on the sides of it. They also had some decorative outer pots. This display had a kind of purple and pink vibe going on. But going back to plants, there were some nice haworthias and crassula. This is a hybrid gastarallo. But away from cacti and succulents, they had some ferns and ivy, and I just had to have a stroke of this rabbit's foot fern, which was only $6.99, so I think a really good price for it. They had a few of these Crassula marginalis in hanging pots for $9.99 each, and that's a lot cheaper than I've seen them elsewhere, so a good place to go. And then there's kind of more of the same, but also a couple of Calathea trio stars with their lovely green and pink and cream colouring. Back to the middle table, there were some more succulents and I think a kalanchoe. They also had some pots, including this cute purple face one. And then at the end of the table were more cacti, including a few smaller ones. And then this final shelf had more pots on. And I found a dark blue version of the little face pot, so decided to buy that. Then there was a second room with more kind of foliagey houseplants in, and here's a quick overview of that room. But starting on the right, there was a big table of Sansevieria. So there were loads of different types, including the more sort of chunky cylindrical ones, as well as the kind of classic leafier shape ones like the Sansevieria Moonshine and Trifasciatas. In terms of other plants, there was some more Alocasia poly. These were fairly big ones for £15, which I think is quite decent. And then this next section had a random little pot for £10, and it had a parlour palm, polka dot plant, and pink flowering kalanchoe in there together. I just thought it was a bit of a random combination. But other plants there were ZZ plants, ferns, including more rabbit foot ferns and crocodile ferns. I think also Dieffenbachia too. And on the main table there were a few of these gorgeous big calathea, which had silky, velvety leaves. I tried to film the kind of fine hairs on there, but not sure if that was picking up on camera. But this was £30. The label didn't say what type of calathea it was, and I'd love to know, so please let me know in the comments if you know what type of calathea this is. And there was this other one next to it, as well as some spider plants and Dracaena. And then here's some more ferns, including a blue star fern, which was $7.99. There were a couple more, which didn't look as great, but the first one was nice and bushy. And I think maybe people had been in to buy lots of the plants because there was quite a few where there was just one or two left, like that peace lily, as well as a ficus elastica rubber plant, also an umbrella plant. And here's another calathea with more contrasting veining on the leaves. I feel like I should know the name of this, but I just can't remember. But it was £25. I think this was possibly a variety of philodendron, a devil's ivy and a moss pole. Then, yeah, mostly more of the same. And then crossing back over to the wall, we have another trio star. It did have a little bit of damage on this leaf, but that was £25. And then the last few plants are some silvery purple bee-leaf begonia hybrids. And finally, some little rattlesnake calatheas for £12.50. So this is definitely the place to come if you like ferns and calathea, as they had quite a few different sorts to pick from. Then the final thing I saw at the garden centre was this sale table, and I had to have a look because I do love a bargain, but the cacti there were a bit forlorn and could probably do with care from a more of an expert than me.
I've just got back, so I hope that you enjoyed seeing what Loxley Nurseries had in stock and seeing their houseplant selection. I thought I'd just do a quick haul to show you what I bought there. So first of all, I got this little pot. It's sort of a shallow terracotta pot with sort of a ribbed wavy edge. This was £1.99 and I thought this would be good for succulent propagations. I also bought this little pot, which was £3.99. It's a 5.5cm pot with a little sort of face on it, and when I saw it I realised that it was exactly the same as two cacti pots that I've got. So you can see one behind me there, that's a lot larger, but I thought this would be really cute and I might get a plant to sort of go beside it on the mantelpiece. And I then bought 3 outdoor plants. I bought 2 verbena, a Magellana Peach Imperial, I guess, and Lanai Candy Cane Early. They both have nice sort of pinky flowers on, and these will be perfect for going in one of my flower borders in the garden. And I think those were £1.50 each. And finally I got a sort of unique type of oxalis that I've never seen before. So this is an oxalis adenophylla. So it has these lovely kind of sage greeny leaves and lots of leaves off each stem. If it's anything like sort of the other oxalis that I have, then they'll turn towards light and close up when it's dark and open when it's light. And I think I've got a couple of these sort of alpine type plants in my front garden, so I'm going to pop these in there too. And that's it. So no houseplants this time, but I hope you still enjoyed seeing what I've bought and also the nursery tour. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on Friday for another planty video. Bye!